The beauty of making art is that it's one of the moments in our lives where imagery is flashing by us on a, either on your phone or on your computer, or you're walking here or driving here, taking the subway. When you walk in a gallery, you still have to spend time with that piece. It almost begs you to stop. And I really like the idea that, okay, all that stuff is flying by, but now I'm going to stop and look at this painting. Early on, I was fortunate enough to be around the downtown music scene at a great time when both music, fashion, art, performance, all of those things were kind of all intertwined. And I was trying to find me in my voice, in conceptual work and minimalist work. So the next step for me was to sort of try to bring in issues that were local to me. The issues of race, issues of class, issues of politics. I think that listening to music like Public Enemy and Boogie Down Productions, things like that, for me to find myself in it was a way of almost pulling imagery together from different sources, the way that a DJ would pull music together from different sources. I was working in a kind of old school room at the time, and to make a piece I had to move all these chalkboards from one side of the room to the other. And the chalkboards was just the clearest way for me to find my voice of that everything I was interested in. It was about learning and teaching and information that's coming at you. So I realized that if you make a mark on the chalkboard surface, that if you tried to erase it or get rid of it, that the mark stayed. And at the same time, it occurred to me that cartooning was one of the earliest forms of where parents or guardians put their kids down in front of and leave them, and they learn from that imagery. So that, coupled with the discovery of the erasure of a mark, really came together, and that's where the erasure drawings were born. I gotta do what I gotta do, and I say run about now, you ready to get down, and I say run about now, you ready to get down, and I say run about now, you ready to get down, and I say run about now, you ready to get down, and I say run about now, you ready to get down. A lot of the objects that I choose to make have a certain familiar sort of feel to them. They're things that we pass by every day in our lives. And for me, the record crates are one of those things. Digging in the crates where you're looking for records to play. And even if you hadn't experienced that yourself, I think you have an understanding of what that's like, that this is about going back to the past. And I think that the same thing is with the sneakers. It's a thing that's so specific to a childhood rite of passage that everybody goes through that. The boom boxes is exactly that. They're sort of these ghosts from the past, and then they have this presence, and you identify them to a period as well as now. I think it shifted not away from race, but it started to embrace more of a collective kind of memory. It started to become about the experience of reconstructing or re-editing our memory and our experiences. I think that we all do that. You listen to music and you might say, oh, I remember where that, what club I was in when I listened to that. And I think anybody that gets ink does the same thing. You know exactly where you got that piece or whoever you were with, and it marks a period of time when you got that. I think we search to hang on to certain memories that we romanticize in our lives.